Hey folks, it's Eric here, the whatever guy, because whatever I mean. Do you folks want to know what my thoughts are on this Petito, Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie case? Y'all stick around and I'll tell you some more about that. As you guys know, I shoot videos 5 or 6 days a week, mostly keeping you guys updated on the world of Delta 8, Delta 9, hemp, cannabis, and just what's going on in our realm. Having said that, we are having a video contest this year. Winner to be picked on December 25th. That person is going to win $100 cash. It'd be a real easy way for somebody to win $100 cash. You guys can make those videos 2 to 9 minutes long, keep the profanity to a minimum, no children, obviously, and no porn. And you can shoot those videos on basically anything you want, man. It's you can be a reveal of a new product. It can be a dispute of my opinion. It can be you can just get on here and do a smoke sesh. All in all, the contest was created and designed to hopefully inspire you to create a YouTube channel about something you're passionate about, and possibly to curb these haters and stuff out there that like to scroll videos and just discourage people from expressing their beliefs on YouTube. Those people, will now have an opportunity to show us that they are the videographer or the video maker that they claim to be by making these comments on here. So I'm giving you a platform to speak. So if you are a naysayer, you're more than welcome to come on this video or shoot a video, send it over. I'm gonna post it up and we'll find out what people think about your videos all the way around. Hopefully, like I said, the goal is to inspire someone to create a YouTube channel about something you're passionate about. As you guys know, we have 2 or 3 videos for that contest already sent in, and a couple of those are channels that have been created either by watching these videos or inspired, from watching these videos on YouTube since we started. One of those is Brian Jude at hempreviewsandstuff.com. He's posting some good content over there. And the other one is Terpene Station. They are posting some good content over there. So you guys hit those like buttons, hit those subscribe buttons, support their videos on this channel, but support their videos on their other channel. All right, man. So moving forward, man, talking about this Gabby Petito case, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, man, I spent a lot of time on YouTube. Most of you folks know that if you want to contact me, YouTube is the way to get a hold of me. But every time I flip my computer on and flip over to YouTube, I'm hearing about this Gabby Petito and this Brian Laundrie case. And there has been a lot of information that's been poured out about this. And I wanted to point a few things out. Just obviously what happened to this girl is a very, very sad thing. Obviously her being having passed away, a lot of questions, everybody's kind of wondering what's going on in the case. And there has been a lot of people step forward, man, that are making their debut. Dog the Bounty Hunter and all those guys are getting their image on their as far as I guess reintroducing themselves into the society, making themselves more relevant. I'm not here to do that, but what I am here to do is speak to a body of people that I think are like-minded individuals like myself, and maybe point out a few things that I've seen. I have certainly not watched every video on or watched all the information on this Gabby Petito case. I'm certainly not an expert by any means, and like I said, it's a sad, sad day about what's going on. But one of the things, a couple things I wanted to point out to you guys. I'm going to flip over here to YouTube so you guys can see exactly what's going on here. Every time I flip on now, I search for a lot of things. So obviously in my search, I'm not searching for Gabby Petito stuff. However, you'll notice that in the first 12 videos that get offered to me, there's one about Brian Laundrie. And if you flip on down, you keep going, there's just one, every step of the way. There's stuff about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. I'm going to do a quick search so you guys can check it out. And this is basically the gist of the story. The gist of the story is that this couple takes off, goes out to Utah, wherever they're at. They're doing they put their marriage off because of COVID. They've been engaged for quite a while. These families that are talking back and forth, calling each other cowards and stuff like that. These families have been involved with each other for quite some time. They've been engaged, I think, for 2 years. But here's the thing to understand about this. A lot of things that are being downplayed in this whole conversation of the Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie case. And by no means am I defending Brian Laundrie at all. However, but I will point out that way back in the beginning of this, the very first altercation that they had with the police, or one of the first altercations they had with the police, it was actually Brian Laundrie was the one that was being attacked in this situation. I've heard and seen things about, he slapped her and this, that, and the other. I'm not sure if that's true or not. However, I will say that in the main police intervention that was up out west, wherever they were. He was the one with the scratches on his face. He was the one that didn't want to press the charges. So there is, that to take into account. Also, I might add that during this whole conversation and everything that's going on, these people are taking lots and lots of pictures along their, on their social media, keeping track of what's going on. There's obviously people stepping in and commenting on the domestic violence, commenting on, the sisters and stuff. I would imagine that these lawyers that are involved with this whole thing are not wanting, Brian Laundrie's family to be stepping out making any comments. But let me just make a few comments here for people like us that live on, that have lived, with law kind of looking over our shoulders for many, many years. Us being pot smokers and stuff like that. The thing is like, the very first thing that a lawyer would tell you, or anybody tells you when you are accused of a crime, is do not talk to the police. Now, if you go on here and you look, there's people calling this guy basically a coward because they think he's in hiding or whatever the case is. I don't know that he's in hiding. I don't know that I would want to be the one talking to the police either. I don't know if you folks know, but I used to run a resale store in Milton that helps veterans that are getting out of prison. And one of the things you have to understand is like, when you're facing a 15-year charge, let's say you drive down the road and you get pulled over and you got a pill in your car, and for whatever reason, you don't want to tell them where the pill came from, obviously for not snitching purposes. But the thing is like, when they bring you in and they, and they're, these cops, they are trained to, get information from you and basically turn your words around. They're in the business of solving crimes, and the state's attorney's office is in the business of convicting persons of those crimes. And you have to understand that is their sole purpose and focus when they get you into that interview room. Now, there's been a lot of people that I know of that have been, convicted on take this 5 years, or we'll take it to trial and get you 30. There's a lot of people, when you're sitting back, weighing these, you have to understand that a lot of these convictions that they come from are just from people that are scared of getting 30 years as opposed to doing, 5, or scared of doing 5 years as opposed to doing, 1 or a couple months in jail. They get a lot of their convictions like that. And for those of us who have been pulled over in marijuana convictions and stuff like that, we know this to be fact. So we know that the number one rule for this guy is, regardless of whether he's missing or not, is not to talk to police. The other thing that you need to, the first thing was obviously he was the one with the scratches. He was the one that, that could have pressed charges in this situation. And he did not do that. The second was obviously not talking to the police. And the third is, what about these bodies that were found in the same area as her body? These bodies were found, apparently were in the area on August 18th. Apparently they were in the area on August 19th. Who's to say that just an alternate, who's to say that they split up out there, or she told him to F off? How many times have you had a fight with your chick, got so pissed off about the situation that you really had nothing else to say in it, and you guys just walked off from each other? Me and my girl were talking the other day, and we were talking about the fact that we could see that happening. We could see us, getting into an argument to the point where we would walk off from each other and say, to hell with you, I'm done, and through. And then it'd take you a while to walk around, obviously, and come back to that situation. But maybe in this situation that didn't happen. I don't know that I like the fact that they're spending a lot of time. A lot of people are getting a lot of coverage on this. And again, like this Brian Laundrie sister, I would imagine that the lawyers that are representing Brian Laundrie are not liking that at all. And one more thing, talking about the family supporting Brian Laundrie or helping out, what mother that loves their child would not do that? Now, I don't know about you guys. I've been let down a lot of times in my life. Like I've been, at low points in my life, and my mother has always been the person that has been there for me, right or wrong. She's always stood beside me. She's always supported me in whatever's going on. And regardless of what happens, those parents love their child, and if they helped him, I would think that maybe with all this media coverage, that the state's attorney's office would have an easier time probably prosecuting that crime than they would anywhere else. But in the majority of crimes that are out there, chances are the state's attorney prosecuting a crime of someone helping him like that is just not going to happen, simply because they're not going to be able to prove in court, to the emotion of the court, that a mother wouldn't help their child in some way, shape, form, or fashion, regardless of whether he was wrong or right. Again, I don't know, all the ins and outs of this whole case, but I do know that there is a possibility that they got pissed off at each other, separated out in Utah or wherever they were at. He left and drove back. And then at this point in the game, he finds out that she's dead, and maybe he's in some sort of grief, and he goes off and he walks. I don't know. Maybe he got help when he was out there. Regardless, it's interesting to me that everybody thinks that he should come forward and just tell the police everything that he knows, which is something that a lawyer's not going to want him to do. And the other thing is too is like, why is the FBI so involved in this case? Why are they involved in this case, and why are they downplaying these other two bodies of women that were found in the same area as Gabby Petito's? There's not one mention of those in the whole thing, and I'm just trying to figure that whole thing out. He comes back to Sarasota, apparently goes for a walk in the woods, and now there are people claiming that they see him on the Appalachian Trail. I'm not sure where this guy's at. I don't know exactly. Maybe he did kill her. I don't know for sure. That is the majority of the people that are out there. But all I'm saying is for those of us that have been involved with law enforcement before, take a step back, man. Take a look at the case. By no means, like I said, have I read everything about this case. However, I will say that going in and talking to the police and telling them everything is not the option, and obviously not something that any lawyer with any merit is gonna advise you to do. No one in this whole group here is a lawyer telling their side of it and telling, hey, don't be speaking to the police. I would imagine, like I said, this little situation right here where his laundry sister answers questions, I would imagine that the lawyers for Brian Laundrie are just having a fit about that right there, because really what they want them to do is to shut their mouth, because nobody really knows what happened for sure to Gabby Petito. I would imagine in some instances that maybe even Brian Laundrie doesn't know what happened to Gabby Petito all the way around. But again, I would suggest, for everybody is, we have obviously our criminal system in the United States, there's a lot of shit broken about it, but you know what? There's a lot of stuff that's right about it too, man. And I think in this process here, what we need to do is just kind of let the process take its time, man. Let it go through the process and let this, come out the way it's going to come out. There's enough coverage on this right here to where there's not going to be too many secrets, but there's a lot of people that have convicted Brian Laundrie and they don't even know everything about the case. There's a lot of stuff that the police are holding back about the way she died. But again, keep in mind that the very first time that the cops were involved in this whole situation, it was him that was the victim and not her. And she was the one that attacked him. He was the one with the scratches. He was the one with the bruises. He was the one that had the opportunity to press charges, and he did not. And then he comes back, obviously, to Sarasota, wherever he's at, and doesn't say a word about where she's at. Now, granted, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If I was with this chick and I was out wherever we were at, and we were on this great thing that we were supposed to go on, and we broke up and my girl walked off and she got with another dude right away, I don't think I'd be running home telling anybody about it either, man, because I'd be kind of embarrassed about the fact that my chick just left me for another dude. So we don't know exactly what happened all the way out there. Is it a possibility that he did everything everybody said? Possibly, but you know what? There's a possibility that there's a lot of stuff inside this conversation that we're not even seeing, man. You got guys on here that are just breaking down the videos and breaking down the body language, and I have no expertise in being able to do anything like that. However, I will say that I've been in situations where, and I know plenty of people that have been faced with, an interview with the police and just come out on the bad end of the stick. There's not one time that I've ever talked to the police that I've come out on the good end of the stick, because they'll, hey, if you do this, well, yeah, there's 100 situations that I can think of, between mine and other people's that I know of experiences that talking to the police is probably the wrong thing to do. Maybe this guy is, in some sort of grief about what happened, and he didn't do it, or he did do it, but regardless, hopefully they will find Brian Laundrie and we'll get some answers to these questions. But obviously, maybe we won't. We may never know exactly what happened to Gabby Petito all the way around. I just know that there's a lot of coverage on it. And I think that we ought to take a step back and at least take a look at some of the facts before we go to condemning this guy and calling him a coward, because I got news for you. If this guy or either one of these people right here that are on this video right here, calling this dude a coward, Gabby Petito's family. If they were in the same situation, they wouldn't be spilling their fucking guts to the police either, because if they did, they'd be really, really stupid about doing it and convicting themselves before they ever get it. Because like I said, those police are in the job of solving crimes, and those state's attorneys are in the job of convicting people of those crimes, and that is their sole focus. Their focus is not to save this guy or do this guy any good. Their focus is to put this fucking guy in jail and find out who killed this killer. Hopefully they find the right killer and they get it all sorted out. But again, you guys have to understand that we may end this whole thing right here and never know exactly what happened to Gabby Petito. All right, so I'm going to get off this right here. I hope everybody's having a great week. Just wanted to comment on that. Hope everybody, you know, obviously the people that are in our, you know, in our circle have dealt with the police before. And if you haven't, you know, take note, man. If you're ever in a situation where you get pulled over, first thing you do is don't speak to the police, man. Just give them your name, rank, serial number like they do in the Army, go your ass to jail and talk to your lawyer about it, man, because I guarantee you, you will be convicted on your words. And chances are, you know, they're going to come at you with, you know, if you've got a minor charge, they're going to come at you with, hey, man, do these 3 months in jail and we won't prosecute you for these 2 years. And a lot of times that 3 months starts looking really, really good, or that 1 year probation or whatever the case is starts looking really, really good. You know, a lot of these misdemeanor cases, like, you know, some that I know that are coming up pretty soon for other people, they tend to offer them some sort of 12 months probation or something like that. And but they don't realize that they've got a criminal charge on their background after that. So, you know, take that as you want it, man. My advice is for everybody to step back, take a breath, take a look at the case, if that's what you want to do. But let's be cool about the commenting on this, man, because we don't know for sure what's going on. Because like I said, the very first time the police were involved in this, you know, this was the victim, not this guy. And now that she's gone, this guy is the victim all the way through. So we don't know what's going on in this guy's head. We don't know exactly what happened. And like I said, we may never know. Hopefully you guys take that as you want it. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and we'll do some more stuff on some Delta 8 and Delta 9. All right, folks, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Love you guys. See ya.